Dobra, czyli witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie i wracamy w kolejnym odcinku. Łapka w górę i ogólnie dostać się na wesele z pomocą kowala, z pomocą młynarza. Zadanie poboczny orzech. Ona zna? Czego mnie chcesz? Weźmy sobie.
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
Nawet mi nie przypomniaj.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side. Now things can only get better.
Chyba masz rację.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're
Kolejny
still
raz.
alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Powiedz mi więcej o kulturze.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Że mógłbym mnie czegoś
Do you
nauczyć?
think
Oho.
Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offense, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
O, trening walki 1. Dobra. Jak się
How does
opisuje?
he show off for the girls?
With his muscles. He breaks logs with his hands. He even let himself be run over by a loaded hay wagon. Crazy. But to be fair to him, he sometimes helps people. Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out.
And not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way home.
Gdzie znajduje
Where
znajduje
might I
kocura?
run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower. That is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue. Otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
Dobra, powrót. I ty w ogóle masz na imię?
you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
Czyli wędrujesz sobie.
You're something like a wanderer.
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary or help in the tavern, but I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller or a nomad, but don't say it too loud. The locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
Czemu spadek reputacji, co?
Where are you headed? If you're only passing through here.
For work, to the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
Do którego miasta
You said you
zmierzasz?
were going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long, just until I find a way to make a living.
Dlaczego mi
Why
pomagasz?
exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why? Because you look like you need it. I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
Dobra, pomóż mi. Radzę z tym, że cię poznałem. Potrzebuję odzienia.
Practically naked. Nobody's going to want to even talk to me like this.
At least you're not walking around bare-assed. Although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin, a monk's robe, or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
Brunkowicka. Wolę się za bardzo nie wyróżniać. Podoba mi się zbroja. Chciałbym wyglądać szlachetnie. Kurde, no szlachetnie, no pewnie nie.
What armour are you talking about? Sir Brunswick?
Oh, nothing. It's just a local legend. They say a famous knight lived here who killed a ferocious lion and saved a many-headed dragon. Or the other way round. It doesn't matter. I don't even know.
And is the armour real?
Maybe. Maybe not. Geibel, the scribe, might know something about it.
Ryba Geibel,
He
dobra.
has a lot of learned books. I don't know my letters.
Wolę co bardzo się nie wyróżniać. Podoba mi się zbroja.
I could use some armour. Proper, like, for a night. And no rusty junk.
Chyba to nie był dobry wybór.
And you are like a knight?
Well, yeah. I don't look so good. But I swear I came here in armour, sword at my side, and on a horse.
Wow. And where is your armor, sword, and horse now?
That's a long story. And it's not a happy tale.
Well, you can hardly
Oh,
buy new
success.
armor now, but you might find something in the town hall armory. Although you'll need
Kurde.
quick hands.
Dekradł.
Thanks. These will come in handy.
Just don't get
Kurde,
yourself
spróbować.
caught again.
Potrzebuję odzienia, muszę zrobić trochę pieniędzy.
I really need... I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank
Kurde,
you.
spoko.
Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
5 groszy, chociaż zawsze coś potrzebuję konia.
Damn. I could use a horse. It'll take years to get to Semin on foot.
Don't exaggerate. This province is small.
Still, it'll be faster with a horse.
There's a stud farm in Semin, renowned far and wide.
And which way is Semin?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road goes right there from the green. Just go down the hill. Once you see the walled farmhouse, you're there. Though I'll be a queen before you can afford a horse from Semin.
Nie mam gdzie spać. Jak
My
zostanę na
main
weselach.
concern is getting to that wedding in Semin. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout you was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have? Have the preparations already begun?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished, and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in. Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
Dobra. To wszystko, co byśmy chcieli
Oh
wiedzieć.
well. It was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
Kurde, dużo tego. Nauczyłeś się żebracy. Mamy coś do ubrania. Kawałek broni, kordelas. Strzała, to nie, kordelas. Strzały to chyba kiedy indziej. Czemu nie tu? Aha, bo nie mam pasa przecież. To. 22. Z butów. To. No i buty, nie? Tylko nie te zakrwawione. Dwójka, jedynka, dwójka. Są lepsze? Nie, to są te. Te są lepsze. Mocne buty. Zwykłe trzewiki. Dobra, coś jeszcze tu do ubrania? Ucz się. Nauczyłeś się nowego przepisu zbawiony sztab. Czy chcesz go zobaczyć w książce z przepisami? Tak. O, wino, pokrzywa i wilcza jagoda. Forma dodaj do kościołka pokrzywę i gotuj przez 2 obroty klepsydry. Czyli pokrzywę i wilczą jagodę muszę zdobyć. Dobra, klepsydry, potem wilcza jagoda. Utrzyj. Dodaj gotuj przez 1 obrót klepsydry. Na koniec przalej. W porządku, odwar z rumianką mamy. Wilcza jagoda i pokrzywa. Trzeba będzie zrobić, to możemy spokojnie robić topory. Aha, to też przepisy wszystkie. W porządku. Trening walki. Uda się do Otura. Ten wykrzyknik. Informator. Z lwem w herbie. Najpierw dostanie się na wesele. Dostanie się na wesele z pomocą kowala. Raczej to wezmę. Co się stało z orzechem? O kurde, jak daleko. Tu byliśmy jakby, nie? Dobra, tam jest kowal. Informacje, ciekawe miejsce. A, jeszcze czekaj. Czy mamy wszystko ubrane? Tu, no chyba tak, no. Wytrych, bandaże. To mnie ciekawi. 5 groszy mamy. To też możemy się wyekwipować. Nie mam żadnych rękawic, a pas? No właśnie, pas. Tu nic, buty mamy, to mamy. No i to tyle, jeżeli mamy coś do ubrania. Zaraz. Tak, to tu. A to tu. Jako druga broń by to była. O nie, schowaj. Czekaj, bo tu mamy coś innego. Możemy tu wejść.
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Not bad. So far.
No, wzrost reputacji. Kryba. Wójt. Nie, bo już nie żyjemy. Agnieszka, to jest ta... Nie można z tym porozmawiać. Mogę tu wejść? Mogę. Kradnie jedzenie? Nie mogę.
Look out!
To jest strażnik. Mogę tu wejść? Mogę. Wójt, rozmawiaj. Chcesz zgłosić zasadkę?
I'd like to report an ambush. Some scoundrels attacked my lord's retinue and killed our men.
That's a serious matter. Where is your lord?
Well, he
Kurde,
left.
mógłbyś
I
się
don't
obmyć.
understand why he's not lodging a complaint himself, and why not directly at the castle. He has that right as a lord.
It's a long story. My lord got very angry and then went missing.
Sorry, fella, but I'm not sure whether you're making it up or lying to me. But if you were telling the truth, why don't you bring your lord here and we can talk it all over calmly? I'm sorry, lad, but until then, I've got more important things to do.
Dobra, koniec rozmowy. Najpierw pójdziemy się obmyć. Do bali. Jesteśmy cali od krwi, no nie? Nie możemy z nim porozmawiać. Jeszcze raz do skryby. Wójt. Jeszcze raz do wójta. Mogło mówić z panem
I need to
Ottonem.
speak with Sir Otto.
With the Royal Chamberlain? Are you yanking my official pizzle?
Why not?
I'd like to talk to him too, boy. but he's still in Prague. He's hardly ever here. Chamberlain Ulrich is in charge of things.
And where do I find him?
Where do you think? Up in the castle.
But they won't let me in there.
What do you want me to do about it? That's your problem. I'm not going to put in a word for you. I hardly know you.
Szukam przyjaciela.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the man who was in the pillory with me yesterday. Have you seen him?
I can't help you with that. You'll have to find him yourself.
Dobra, gdzie są miejscowych
I'd like to buy
handlarzy?
something.
Spoko, to czy tego się
Where
dowiemy,
can I
gdzie
find
co
some
jest, nie?
merchants around here?
If it's a tradesman you're
Więc
after,
sam początek niestety
most
będzie
of them
bardzo
live here in
dialogowy.
the village, of course. Your best bet is to ask our merchant Jörg. He knows everyone. I'm sure he'll help you.
What's new, bailiff?
Nothing special. Fortunately, Troskowitz is a quiet village. It's peaceful here, and the war has avoided us so far, thank God. Just here and there a brawl in the tavern or the neighbour's errant cow. Well, that's how it was until recently, at least.
Co się stało?
And what happened?
What do you think? It started with that nomadic riffraff, theft of hens and sheep, then continued with ambushes on the road. And then the wolves started to come in from the forests on account of the poachers killing off their prey. Oh, and then our master Chamberlain Ulrich. Oh my God. But that's no business of yours, understand?
I understand. That's your business, bailiff.
Co nowego?
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I heard something's going on in Takoff again. Project the Innkeeper is probably coming up with some mischief to pull on the Zhelyevites. Will they never cut it out? Their bickering is making work for me. And now I've been visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of them are von Burgo's men. Also, if it wasn't bad enough that gang of bandits is rampaging through the region, now someone's stealing cabbage from the peasants. What a disaster.
Cabbage?
Aye, and the peasants won't stop bugging me about it. I was just visited by a peasant from Zadar. He's been talking my ears off for God knows how long. Say, do I really have to do this? Do I have the time to look for some moron stealing cabbages? And that's about it.
That sounds interesting. Thank you. What's new
Coś
in the
jeszcze ma?
county, Master Bailiff?
I was just visited by one of the local peasants.
Kurde, cały czas
He
coś
said
mówi.
he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang. Master Scribe?
What do you want? What'll it
Skryba.
be this fine morning?
I'll have a
Handluj?
look at the ware.
Tak, to nie będzie jakieś... Kurde, bajkolisie. Zręczne ręce, tylko że nie mam tyle kasy. Ty handlarz. Zadania. Materiały, książki, jedzenie, zbroja, bronie. Inne. A gdzie mogę... Wszystko. A gdzie mogę mu coś sprzedać? Sprzedaj. Grzebień. Daj do koszyka. Dobra, targuj się.
I'd like to do something about that price.
Sure. Why not?
Dobra, ja bym chciał więcej za to.
Aye. You'll convince me with that price. Thank you. And a good day to you, friend. What can I do for you?
Dobra, idź dalej, bo reputacja wzrosła właśnie.
I met the local beggar. Barrow was her name.
She's here again. Oh, confound it. But we'll get rid of her somehow, you'll see.
What? But
You didn't give her any money, I hope? Rabble like that are like stray cats. Feed them once, and you'll never get rid of them.
No, she just told me you might know where I could get some armor.
Armor? Unless you want to join the local watch, I don't think I can help you. Unless maybe Radovan, the blacksmith from Takov. We might sell you something.
But Barrow told me you might know of something better. The armor of some Brunswick?
Oh, that. Lad, 'tis but a legend.
Jaka legenda? Zbrojenie bajkę?
What legend?
It's hard to explain. There are actually two legends, or even three. Well, it doesn't really matter. Why are you so interested anyway? Fine armor like that belongs in the hands of a knight.
A nie wygląda na rycerza? Sprzedam jakiemuś rycerzowi. Weźmie tutaj ta legenda. I to bym raczej wybrał. Bym jako kowal.
Oh, come now. Surely you're not going to keep that legend to yourself. Do a fellow scholar a service.
Youngster, being able to piss your name in the snow doesn't make a scholar
No,
out
nie uda
of you.
się.
I beg your pardon?
All right. No need to lose your temper. I'll tell you. In short, they say the armor of ancient Bohemian Prince Brunswick is hidden here, waiting for some valiant knight to find it. I don't believe it, of course. After all, I'm educated. But you'd be surprised how many fools have set off to find it.
Kim był
Who
Wilkowic?
exactly was this Brunswick?
You don't know, lad? Educate yourself. Brunswick was a famous Czech prince who won the lion for our country's coat of arms.
Really? How is it that I've never heard of him?
Perhaps because he never existed. Prince Vladislav II got the lion for our coat of arms for helping Emperor Frederick I, known as Redbeard.
But you just said that...
Brunswick is just a legend, but a quite lovely one, I'll give you that.
Mam wiedzieć
Could you
więcej?
recount for me the legend of Brunswick?
Well, why not? Brunswick was a valiant Bohemian prince. He lived in a time when our country had an eagle on its coat of arms, but that wasn't good enough for him. So he decided to head out into the world and gain the mark of a more powerful animal.
Bardzo odważnie.
A man after my own heart.
You may think so, but his wife was none too happy. Her name was Ludmilla, and she begged Brunswick 100 times to stay home, but he just couldn't be persuaded. Still, he loved her very much, so he took her ring and told her that unless someone came and showed her that ring during the next 7 years, she should wait for his return. But if he failed to return after 7 years, that would mean he would never return.
And what
Dalej.
happened next?
Brunswick's party set out to sea, but didn't get far. They were drawn in by an island with a mysterious mountain of amber that holds all ships and prevents them from leaving. Over time, the men on the deserted island died of starvation, leaving only Brunswick, who noticed that once a year a great bird called No came to the island to hunt. And so the clever knight hid in his horse's hide at just the right time. And when the bird came, it mistook him for prey and carried him away. So Brunswick wandered on. After some time on the road, the prince came across something unprecedented. A duel between a lion and a 9-headed dragon. So, what do you think Brunswick did at that moment?
Pomógł lwu, pomógł smokowi, dał sobie radę.
Well, considering what he later added to the coat of arms, I expect he helped the lion, eh?
Smart. Brunswick rushed to help the lion, and together they killed the dragon. And from that time on, they were stalwart companions. The lion even followed him all the way back to Bohemia. Except, by then, it was already too late. It had already been exactly 7 years to the day since Brunswick set off on his journey. His wife, Ludmilla, who had until that time valiantly resisted all suitors, was about to remarry. But at the wedding feast, Brunswick managed to drop the ring in her cup. So it all turned out well. For Brunswick, that is. Not so for Ludmilla's new groom. But the lion took care of that.
Nie zajął się lewo, kurde.
Where did Brunswick's armor come from?
It is said that George the Lion of Württemberg brought it here. He was the nephew of Lord Czech of Württemberg, who built Trusky. This George spent a lot of time with King Wenceslas. A suspiciously long amount of time, if you know what I mean.
I
Rozumiem.
think I get the picture.
And it is said that one day a lion escaped from the king's menagerie, and George overpowered it with his bare hands and laid it at the king's feet, still alive. As a reward, Wenceslas gave young Württemberg the name Lion and the armor of his ancestor, Prince Brunswick. Only Sir George didn't live to enjoy it for long. He caught the plague at a tournament abroad. died on his way back to his king. Specifically, while visiting his uncle here at Trusky. Of course, the king wanted his armor back, but Lord Chenyek didn't want to give it to him, claiming he had the hereditary right to it. It looked like Wenceslas would lay siege to Trusky, but fortunately Lord Chenyek was completely destitute by then, so he sold all of Trusky and the armor to the king.
Jak był bankrutem i zostawił mu tę zbroję?
Well, if the king was so endeared with Brunswick's armor, why did he leave it here?
Because he didn't have any choice, my friend. He never found the armor. Lord Chenyek was as cunning as a fox. While he did leave the armor here, he never told anyone where. It's said he hid it so it could only be found by a true knight, each piece in a different place. Or so they say round these parts. Who knows if there's any truth to the tale?
And do you know where I could find Brunswick's armor?
Yes, lad, if it even really exists. But I do have a little bit of advice for you. Sir Chenyek, who they say hid the armor, left behind a riddle. It's a test that must be passed by whoever wants to find it. Do you want to hear it?
Powiedz mi tę
And how
zagadkę.
did that riddle go?
Wait, how was it? I've got it. Take your leave of crone and maiden, standing tall behind the gates. Boldly go towards true midnight. In caverns cold your prize awaits. Pass through the all of forest kings, hidden deep from hunter's gaze. Standing tall, 2 guards of stone, behind whom yearned for treasure lays. Between them stands a mighty rock, a subtle niche, yet deeper still, a place to give one's art to God. Behold, my armor gleaming still.
The crone and the maiden towards midnight. We've got east, west, midday, midnight. Bloody hell. I think I know where it is.
Really? Well, seems you've got something between your ears then, lad. And you know what? I've got something else for you. Sir George, who previously owned the armor, wanted to have a nice poleaxe made in Prague too, but he died of the plague before he could do it. I'm not too certain about Brunswick and his armor, but this is certainly true because I have a copy of George's order here. Here, take it as a keepsake. And
Przyda się.
now go. What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
Ej, tak. Tak agresywnie. My byliśmy kolegami. Ty z wójtem mogę jeszcze o czymś porozmawiać?
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I was just visited by one of the... He said he found more fresh graves.
What do you mean more?
That we found someone buried here. I've been digging up body, and that's about...
That sounds
Dobra, jest rozmowy, bo to cały czas to samo mówi. Nie mogę tego ukryć. Niebieskie wtargnięcie. Niebieskie wtargnięcie oznacza, że znajdujesz się na cudzej posesji, a mieszkańcy będą ci... Powiedzą ci, byś odszedł i się zastanowić. Dobra. Sprawdźmy to. Co to jest? Świeże groby. To jest nowe zadanie. To nauczyciel fachu. Zielarz, okej. Nie ma tej zbroi. Z lwem. Rozwiąż zagadkę, jest znaleźć element zbroi brunkowicka. Poboczne, główne. A, to są aktywności. Tutaj informator. Pójdziemy sobie do informatora i pójdziemy w kości koło Brusa. Odpusty, skryba, dobra, gniazdo, karczma. Tam też jest informator. Chodźmy tutaj do informatora. Zobaczymy, co on w tej karczmie powie. Najpierw odbieramy sobie zadania, nie? Porozmawiaj.
I'll have a look at your
Możemy.
ware.
No, może jedzenie, a sprzedać jej mogę? Coś co zbytnio... raczej nic.
Have you come to break some more stuff? If you want.
Aż przejdzie mi w kur. Muzyka ze mnie możemy. Karczmarka.
What'll it be?
I'll have a look at...
Pana mi może dać. To samo. Ucząca się kostka. O. Za 15 model, ale nie mam tylu.
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then?
Parobek. To jest nasz informator.
The Lord be with you. What do you need?
Dobra, zaraz sobie w kości może na następnym odcinku. Póki co dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie. Trzymajcie się i cześć.